The following video has been brought to you by RYN Studios. Release your nerd.
Hello everyone, my name is the King of Clubs and welcome to another episode of List It. In this episode, I'm going to be counting down my top 10 favorites for musicals. Now these are actual films. They're based on musicals that were either written for Broadway or for other stages that were translated later on into movies. Now, what I'm basing this on is the actual movies themselves and not the Broadway productions they were intended for originally. Alright, now let's start with number 10 here. The Sound of Music. The old classic Sound of Music is actually one of the earlier musicals that I remember watching when I was younger. Admittedly, I've only seen it maybe once in my lifetime, and I enjoyed it when I saw it. I know a lot of people recognize it by name. It's one of the most highly recognizable as well as most popular of all the classic musicals that were made. Let's see. Moving on to number 9 in the countdown. Number 9 is Grease. Number 9 spot goes to Grease because it's another one I saw early on. I've actually seen this one multiple times. Another musical that I actually really enjoy. It's one of John Travolta's earlier pictures that he did when he was doing a lot more flexible roles, doing lots of singing and dancing as opposed to just straight up acting. I like it. It's got a lot of humor in it. It's got a bit of perviness to it. Now the sequel to the movie has a lot more perverted humor involved in it. But I'm putting the original on here because, in my opinion, this is one of those categories that the original is usually the best. Alright, moving on to number 8 is The Wizard of Oz. Some people tend to forget that The Wizard of Oz is actually considered a musical. I mean, there's a lot of times where it's just straight dialogue and there's actually not singing involved, but there's enough singing and enough music for it to classify as a musical. Not to mention it's just a straight up classic movie. A lot of people love Wizard of Oz, I myself included. I've seen the movie countless times. I honestly could not give a number to how many times I've seen The Wizard of Oz. One of my personal favorites when it comes to more classic movies. Definitely just a lot of fun. Very much a family-friendly movie. A movie you can watch with anyone at any time. Alright, moving on to number 7 is The Phantom of the Opera. Now, this one I'm a little bit torn on. I love the remake that they did a few years ago with Gerard Butler, and that's actually the one that we're showcasing in this countdown. Music in that one was really well done. Before that, I didn't like Phantom of the Opera movies except for the original one done back in the 1920s, but that one wasn't a musical, that was a silent film. This one being more closely done to the Broadway production by Andrew Lloyd Webber. This one is a lot of fun, very entertaining. A lot different than other Phantoms that I've seen in the past. Alright, moving on to number 6 is Rent. It's a universal movie because there's a lot of different elements to it. There's romance, there's comedy, there's really dramatic and sad scenes. There's just a little bit of everything involved in this musical, which is great because it shows a really good balance. And it's got some really good messages to it. It shows that there's a lot of equality being shown in the movie, which is really important to me because I'm very much for pro-equality on all levels, regardless of race, gender, sexuality, religion. I'm pro-equality in every respect. So that's one of the reasons why I love Rent, is that it also showcases a lot of different lifestyles. Alright, moving on to number 5 is the movie Little Shop of Horrors. Now this is a movie that I actually had not seen all the way through until just recently. Probably about, I don't know, a year and a half ago is when I first saw it. It's a movie that I really enjoy watching. And the music from it is just a ton of fun. It's got some graphic nature to it, yes, but overall it's just a goofy musical. Alright, moving on to number 4 in the countdown is actually the newest made movie adaptation of a musical, is Into the Woods. I really enjoyed this movie. I know that there have been some mixed reviews from other people. I honestly don't see where their negativity is coming from, because I love the movie. I thought the casting was great, spot on, to be honest. I think that everyone is very talented. I love the interpretation of the Brothers Grimm into a musical like this. This is very fun. I just love the movie. There are some dark moments in the film that I thought were just hilarious. Not to say that I'm warped or anything. I mean, I am, but I'm not saying that. What I mean is there's some dark innuendos and dark humor involved in the movie, and it just really makes it a great and fun film to watch. Alright, moving on to number 3 is Sweeney Todd. Another musical that features Johnny Depp, this one in the actual main character role, is Sweeney Todd. Now, I'm a huge Johnny Depp fan myself. I love him as an actor. He's really good as a singer as well, which a lot of people tend to forget about. This movie shows him in more of a raspy vocal setting, because he has a lot more of a, almost like a guttural tone to his voice at times. But it's very well done. The music is just amazing. There's a lot of dark humor in it, that's really my thing. I love dark humor. I love morbid and gruesome humor. It's not for everybody, because it is graphic. There's a lot of blood involved in it, but it's still a lot of fun to watch. Alright, moving on to number 2 is Repo the Genetic Opera. Now, this is a film that I really love. I actually would like to see a live production of it, because the film itself it's considered dark comedy, because as morbid as it is, it's very much just that. It is a lot of dark humor, and a lot of very graphic stuff that happens in the film. Again, another film that has a lot of blood in it, but there's a lot of great moments of humor, and there are times when it's nothing but whimsical. That's the only way I can really describe it. But it's a ton of fun. I really love watching Repo. It's a movie I haven't watched in a while that I might have to actually watch again here fairly soon. Alright, moving into number 1. Now this one is my personal favorite. Has been ever since I watched it years ago. And in fact, I enjoy it so much that I see it at least once to twice a year. I would see it more if I could. And that's the Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's actually a local theater where I live that shows the movie at least once to twice a year, and they're at their retro night, basically what they call retro night. Actually, I think it's a different name, but they treat it as where they show older movies instead of the newer stuff. I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun because you get a lot of people crammed into this theater, because everyone who's seen the movie, and even a good handful of people that haven't, they come to this movie theater to watch it because of all the great humor that's involved from the audience participation. And that's really what made the movie so great, and what's made it so great ever since it came out, is that it's full of audience participation. I don't really know if that was their intention when they made the film, but that's what's happened. That's what's created the cult following of it. And it's just a ton of fun. It's very graphic, so it's not obviously for everybody. It definitely isn't for people that get uncomfortable about sexualities. But it's a movie that I recommend everyone seeing once in their lifetime. If you're going to see it, though, you've got to go to a theater to see it, because you've got to experience the audience participation. That is something that you must do. Again, I'm probably going to be looking for their show times this year. I'm not sure when they're showing it this year, but usually it's around Halloween. Sometimes they do it once earlier in the year, so hopefully they do one earlier in the year so I can go see it, and then one later at Halloween. That's what I'm hoping. But yeah, it's a ton of fun. It's a movie I'd recommend to everybody. So yeah, again, Rocky Horror Picture Show, definitely something that I'd recommend. It's the #1 spot on this countdown. Okay, so that wraps up the countdown, and be sure to check out my social media. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. I've got links for all this in the description below. Check out my other videos. I've got annotations at the end of every video, except for my vlogs. That's the only one that I don't really edit. I just put them on there. I might tweak the filter on it, but The vlogs are the only ones that don't get annotations, but this video will have them. So check out my other videos, are linked in the annotations. Check out my channel. Be sure to subscribe to my channel. Remember, something I posted in my blog is that if I get enough subscribers, I'm going to start doing contests and other stuff for you guys. So like this video, share it with your friends and family, get them to subscribe too. Leave comments on what you guys think. If there's a musical you think I didn't get to that you wanted to see, let me know. And if there's enough musicals to make it in a second list, I will definitely look into making a second video later on down the road. Alright guys, that's all the time I have for this video. Have a nice day.
Ratoncito le gusta danza cuando estudió en la escuela. Pajarito se cubre botín cuando visita a su abuela. Si necesita una amiga, debe hablar con ratoncito. Si quiere ser mi amante, debe ser alta y delgadita. Lunes, martes, ratones, pez. Miércoles, jueves.